I think we're going to start with a short film, which I'm going to play now.
Urban air mobility has the power to dramatically change the world.
What we believe urban air mobility can do is give people back time, their most valuable asset, and make sure that you can get where you need to go to reach the opportunities that you care about most.
There are so many opportunities for air mobility to revolutionise transport in the UK, whether it be people travelling within cities at speed or connecting difficult to connect towns that today have no aviation infrastructure.
Currently, our infrastructure, our road infrastructure, our rail infrastructure is highly stressed, and it would be very difficult and very expensive to increase that capacity. Urban mobility is going to open up connectivity in a way that we are unable to provide through the traditional means.
Imagine a world where there's an entirely new layer of mobility, where you can fly to work, you can fly home without the need for more expensive, carbon-hungry roads, tunnels, bridges. A new era of mobility is possible. An urban airport is here to enable that era to begin.
Without the supporting infrastructure and other ecosystem components, urban air mobility is just a fancy flying science project. Urban airports plays a critical role in enabling that technology and giving us the infrastructure we need to allow this industry to take flight.
For us to be able to support and ally with something which absolutely puts at the heart of the reimagination of our cities, this kind of future transport is absolutely key to us.
Urban airport is an entirely new breed of infrastructure. It's rapidly deployable, modular, sustainable, and extremely flexible. It will enable new forms of mobility, both in the air and on the ground, to come together and acts as a new type of sustainable mobility hub for deployment across our towns and cities around the world.
We see the air mobility sector as a very new and exciting area of development.
Our vision is to provide sustainable infrastructure to enable a new era of mobility that is clean, green, and accessible.
We see it as a social good, that people from all backgrounds can make use of these new forms of aviation.
Urban air mobility, without any doubt at all, will revolutionise our cities.
Urban air mobility in the future is going to be commonplace. It's going to be the same as taking a car or a scooter to your end destination, and will be seamlessly integrated into your day.
We are on the beginning of a very exciting journey.
Urban airport is at the forefront of this sector, and with our rapidly deployable infrastructure, urban air mobility can finally take flight.
So, as the film said, we are at the beginning of a very exciting journey, a whole new dimension for our cities and our smart cities of the future. So, what we do is effectively build airports for drones. Small drones for cargo logistics, and larger drones called eVTOL. All of them are electric. The industry name for them is called eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. So a combination of an aeroplane and a helicopter, but all electric with zero emissions. So over the last year and a half, we've assembled an amazing team of industry experts from real estate, from finance, aviation, aerospace, and we've welcomed recently to our board a company called Supernal, who are building their own eVTOL. Supernal is a Hyundai Motor Group subsidiary company, and Hyundai Motor Group are investing $1.5 billion in developing their vehicle. And we're very proud that Hyundai Motor Group have picked us as their infrastructure partner, their preferred partner, to build the ground infrastructure and the air infrastructure and the digital infrastructure to enable all of us and future citizens of our urban centers to travel around our cities in an eVTOL, adding another layer of mobility to our existing strained systems. And the reason why infrastructure is so important is because over the last year, there's been a huge amount of investment, more investment in the last year than in the last 10 years combined in the development of these vehicles. And so with these vehicles, as they start to get certified, we're standing right now in LEAP in Riyadh in 2022. And in 2 years' time, in 2024, some of these vehicles will get their certifications in the UK by the Civil Aviation, in the US by the FAA, and by EASA in Europe. And so when these vehicles come online, when you can book your air taxi from the Hilton Hotel in Riyadh to here, to Leap, they're going to need infrastructure. And so we're already on that journey, and we are starting to build a technology-driven solution which is ultra-compact to pave the way for this emerging, amazing industry. And our first adventure is in the UK. We are a UK government-backed company, and we have won recently a UK Research and Innovation grant to build this behind me, which will be the world's first fully operational vertiport. And this will be in Coventry, which is right in the middle of the UK. Coventry is an interesting place because it's one of the epicenters of urban logistics. It's 4 hours from most of the country, and it's within reach of 90% of UK's population. So it's a great place to start. And since our adventure, yesterday we're amazingly privileged to start on site. So we have an 11-week construction program to build the world's first fully operational vertiport in a very dense downtown setting where over 500,000 people live and work. And here's a zoomed out picture to show that dense setting. So you can see we are in a car park. It's a very constrained site. Ordinarily, you would never be able to build a piece of aviation infrastructure. You would never be able to build a heliport or an airport in such location. It's 60 seconds away from the mainline railway station, and it's a 2-minute walk from downtown Coventry city centre. As I said, where over 500,000 people live and work every day, and now they'll have access to a new type of transit-orientated development, which is the urban airport. And so what's special about the urban airport? So the key thing about it is we have over 5 international patents. It's a technology-driven solution. And what that means is instead of having lots of asphalt and lots of concrete to land vehicles on and painting big circles with big H's on, now that's all well and good if you have lots and lots of space. But even if you have lots and lots of space, it's the climate conditions, if it's raining, if it's dusty, if it's hot, if it's cold. And the key thing about advanced air mobility is to have a very quick throughput. So when you get off your train or your metro or your taxi, you need to quickly connect to an air taxi in order to make it viable, in order to fulfill the demand. And so our solution is an ultra-compact solution which we can deploy rapidly, and then we can fit in to very dense, complex cities. So we can be downtown in Riyadh as well as at the Hilton in their car park. Inside the urban airport, it's important to offer our customers and our travelers something familiar, because already they're going to be using effectively an electric drone that they're going to fly in with their friends and their families. So we have built a team, an amazing team who've worked on many airports and many airlines, have built duty-free businesses around the world. And so we are proud to announce that we have over 5 partnerships that we'll be announcing next week with some of the world's biggest brands. Now, these biggest brands, they're normally used to having huge shops, in airports, big showcase. And so it took us a while, it took us a year to convince them that actually they need to be present in a very small way at the urban airport. And they're very excited to be part of our app and have access to a whole new type of traveler, a whole new customer, and a whole new market, which is forecast by McKinsey to be worth $1.5 trillion every year in 2 years' time. So it's a huge market, and we're planning for that future right now. So as well as retail, we also have 5 or so, I think more even as of last week, major hospitality brands who want to operate the Urban Airport Cafe, because we want to welcome you to an urban airport. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to have a coffee. We want you to have a fresh juice, to have some food, and go through a process that you're already familiar with when you travel, whether you're traveling by metro or by plane. And so it's important for us to provide a high quality experience in a brand new type of mobility. And these pictures here, these are really exciting. So this is our fabrication. We're 100% fabricated off-site to maximize quality. And all of our materials will be moving to site as of yesterday. And so this is something which isn't just a visualization. It's not just an animation. This is real. So we are building the world's first fully operational vertiport in the UK. We have a special MOU with the civil aviation and the authorities in the UK who are working with us, paving the way to build the ground infrastructure and the air infrastructure, because it's okay to have urban airports, in multiple locations, but the key challenge is to provide the air corridors that connect them. And so what the civil aviation have seen us deliver this year is a pioneering charge to build the infrastructure, the partnerships that we've coalesced, including Munich Airport International, one of the world's leading airport operators. They're one of our preferred operator partners, and Hyundai Motor Group, as well as many other OEMs. And so they are now working very closely with us, building a model that we can scale and we can replicate here in Riyadh, in Jeddah, around the region. But it's not only a passenger air taxi vertiport. We have a fleet of products, and one that is getting a lot of attention today from our stand is the City Box. And the City Box comes in multiple sizes. It's a modular system. And the City Box, which you can see here, is intended to start serving cities immediately. So during the last few years, we've been locked down, we've been forced to kind of embrace e-commerce. We've been ordering lots of things online. And even in London, where I live, I was looking out of my window, working from home, and I see the Amazon van come, I see the DHL van come, then I see the FedEx van come. All of these vans coming to my street, and some are electric, most are not, but they're all quite big. And so we have kids playing on the street, and so these vans, instead of having those vans come, we're speaking to people like DHL, the world's largest logistics company, who, by the way, are therefore the world's largest polluting logistics company. And they're very interested to work with us to integrate city boxes, which allow drones with cargo to fly from the fulfillment centers directly to the city, land on our city boxes, where we then process the cargo, and we distribute the cargo to you, our customers and citizens, via the lockers that are integrated, access via the app. So it's a full technology stack that has the ground infrastructure, the air infrastructure, and the digital infrastructure. And this is a little caption of the City Box, which is very exciting. The size of this unit is the size of two Suburbans, so 2 cars. So it takes up 2 parking spaces. So it's not much for a city or a community to give up to have cleaner air and have fewer vehicles causing congestion and pollution in your neighborhood. And the environmental benefits are immense. There's the carbon saving from using drone technologies over traditional van technologies is huge, but also what people sometimes miss and often miss is not only the zero emission from the tailpipe, right? It's also emissions from rubber tires, it's emissions from brake discs. And so by utilizing drones, you can mitigate those particulates in the atmosphere, which in many parts of the world are the most rife particulates that we breathe in, that our children breathe in. And so it's very important to me to have a sustainable infrastructure for a sustainable mode of transportation. This slide, it's a bit busy, but it's a very important slide to us because we started this journey on the left-hand side here with the ground infrastructure, working with Hyundai Motor Group and the UK government. But because of that work, we've attracted some very big names. As I mentioned, Munich Airport International, one of the best airport operators in the world, who operate airports all around the world. They have joined our platform as a preferred partner. We've attracted other OEMs, some major names in the eVTOL industry, including the Boeing-backed company called Wisk. Wisk is also backed by the founder of Google, Larry Page. They are working on a passenger air taxi that is fully autonomous. So we're attracting some of the major air taxi companies who want to integrate their vehicle and their ConOps, how their vehicle works, how it lands, how it charges, how you board people, how you board cargo, how it takes off. They can't do any of that, and their investment in those vehicles will be wasted if they don't work with us and don't understand how the infrastructure works and how their vehicles land in cities. We've also started building now in the UK. Our next program is to build the world's first network, the world's first advanced air mobility network. So not just one vertiport where we have some drones and they fly around and land back on one vertiport. Rather than that, what we said to the government is, let's build a network. So you take off from one location, we'll build the air infrastructure, the highway in the sky with civil aviation, 10 miles to the next vertiport. Now this sounds easy, but it's really hard work, and it's never been done before. If we can do it in the UK, which is what this slide talks about, it means a very conservative civil aviation in the UK allowed us to do it, trusts us to do it. That means we can scale this and replicate this for you and for other countries around the world to meet their net zero targets. And of course, all of this is unlocked by our app, which is the last column, so that you can have advanced air mobility in your fingertips. And the app is really important because we're all used to ordering things online. We're all used to ordering taxis online, products online. So it's very important for us, for the industry, to make urban air mobility, also known as advanced air mobility, make it accessible to everybody, make it normal for everybody. And that's where the app comes in. The app allows you, we're going to launch this in Q3, so later this year, allows you to download the app, become a member, learn about the industry, learn about where our next urban airports will be located. But it also exposes you to some really exciting brands, some brands that you would not normally see at airports because they can't afford to be at an airport. Some brands that have very big stores at airports will be on here as well. So brands want to be part of this, which is good for us because it's revenue for us, but it's also through the deals that we create with them, discounts for you. You can order your coffee, you can have EV charging. We have a whole fleet of services that we've wrapped up in a brand called Urban Air Choice. So a lot of non-aeronautical revenue for us, a lot of services for you, and all of this starts to pave the way for a future in our cities which is connected by the air. So who's buying these things? Where is this happening? This is a snapshot of the world, and the blue dots are where we are active. So there's a lot of activity, obviously, in the UK that we've generated, and that is starting to spread into Central Europe and Scandinavia. There's a lot of interest we've had from this region as well, including UAE, but also in Asia Pacific. We're partnered with Hyundai Motor Group. Obviously, they're a South Korean-based company, so a lot of interest there. All the way across to Australia, and of course, all the way in the US. The US is a leading market for us with a number of leading OEMs who are developing this kind of eVTOL. So America is very important, both East Coast and West Coast. So it's not just in the UK. It's starting in the UK as a global pioneer. We're based in the UK. We have our first office already now in Central Europe, and we hope to have another office somewhere here soon. Here's some of our team standing in front of our 17-meter launch pad, a 17-meter diameter takeoff and landing pad. And it's not just about air taxi services, and it's not just about cargo delivery. I want to end with this slide, which is a really exciting slide. We've announced yesterday our partnership with the second largest police force in the UK. So drones being used for our safety and our security. So the West Midlands Police Force are converting their force from dogs to drones. And they've chosen us to do some of their demonstrations to show communities and cities around the country, and then therefore around the world, how security can be enhanced by using drone technologies, which is orchestrated and managed in a safe and secure way. So we're very excited to be working with the West Midlands Police Force, the second largest police force in the UK, and we hope to demonstrate how drones can help us all live safer, happier, and healthier lives, so long as we come together around a coordinated piece of infrastructure. If you have any questions, please come and talk to me. We're on a stand H40, just opposite Honeywell, and I'd love to talk to you about advanced air mobility in the region. Thank you for your time.